In the 70s, they were an elite unit, with names like Brick, Champ, Brian, and Ron. They rose like the phoenix, and then they were gone. Their legend became but a whisper, told by the trees, until now.
Hi everyone, this is Screenhold UK, and today we're Let's Talking about Anchorman 2, The Legend Continues. A bit of housekeeping first. We've got a new little format going on, and what we're going to start doing is give you sort of a synopsis, a mini review, and then the rating right at the start, and then we'll bullshit. So I think Anchorman 2 will be given a B rating for this. By the way, Ben's here.
Hello. I just to be clear, I haven't actually seen this yet. You know what I haven't seen it for is because it's only on. Like, it was on during the Christmas period quite a lot, but I didn't get a chance to go and see it because of Christmas shit and work. Mm-hmm. And by the time I did get in a position where I could go and see it, it was only on once a day, and that was like at 8:10. And yeah. I just haven't been able to fucking see it because I haven't been getting in from work till like awkward times, and by the time I'm getting like ready to go back out, it's already past the fucking start time. I really do want to see this. In fact, I actually taped the original film over Christmas. It was on telly, and showed it to my fiance because she'd never seen it.
You've never seen Anchorman?
I know. So we watched the first one in preparation for going seeing this, and we've never actually got around to going seeing it. So that was an hour and a half well spent.
Well, that's another one of our pet hates. When cinema sort of shoots itself in the foot in regards to showing films. We've talked about this before. It really does my head in. But Anchorman 2, I'm giving it a B. I don't think it's as strong a film as the first one, but definitely just as funny. It's a completely different film.
Is it really?
You've got all your favourite cast members, but completely different. All the new team's back, and Veronica Corningstone played by Christina Applegate, he's back. James Marsden, he's in it.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's actually really good in it. So the plot of this is, it starts off, can you remember when the first one ends, Ben? It's like 6 months later, and then it's like, you see Ron and Veronica presenting the world news.
Yeah, down there, like on cable news or something.
Yeah, well, he probably gets fired by Harrison Ford, who plays like the global favourite anchor in the world.
Oh, really?
He looks in both of their eyes and decides that Ron doesn't have what it takes, so he fires him just on the spot for no reason.
How dare he decide that Ron Burgundy doesn't have what it takes?
Well, he clearly does. We all know that. He fought a bear.
We've seen the first movie. We know he has what it takes.
Well, it's a really silly way to do this, because the end of the first film is like 6 months later, and then the start of this one, you see that, and then it's like after 5 minutes, like 6 months later again. And now Ron Burgundy's like a drunk presenting SeaWorld shows. It's so funny. And he gets offered to come back to doing the news on this new radical 24-hour news station. And he's like, oh, that's never going to work. But he gets convinced, and then he reunites the news team. And it's a classic, when you get the gang back together, your journey to see each one of them individually and what they've been doing in the meantime.
Is it like the road trip off the Muppets movie the other year?
It's exactly like that, yeah. We've even got like a truck, like a school bus, to go and pick everyone up. So once they all get together, they go to New York and start this new, and then they discover that they've been given like the 2 a.m. slot on a Thursday night, because it's 24-hour news, so they've got like actual good people presenting through the week, like in the prime time. And it's up to them to try and get the ratings and make sure this new system works.
Right.
But I'd say that the biggest departure is that in the first one, to me, it was all Ron versus Veronica and their sort of relationship.
Yeah, well, it was basically kind of like almost a cartoon about how women started to come into the workplace, or specifically started becoming news readers in the 70s. It was kind of the emergence of women in the workplace. Does this one have any kind of such subtle context? Or is it literally just Ron Burgundy's a popular character, let's put him in sketches?
It feels like a lot of sketches strung together. That's exactly the word that I used when I was telling everyone about it. Like, the main plot holding it together is sort of the invention of 24-hour news. So in the first film, you'd say it's it's focusing on the time of history when women were coming into the workplace. This one's focusing on the shift from when news turned into entertainment, I say. That's the main focus. But then there's a lot of things, there's like extra stuff going on. So you've got this huge rivalry going with James Marsden's character, who's the main, like he's the primetime news anchor. So it's like a direct rival. And then that just kind of waters out eventually. Then there's the whole subplot where Ron Burgundy goes blind. And then you can see again later on. Veronica's still there. They've got a son. She's got that to deal with, even though she's left him.
She left him. Well, that escalated quickly.
There's loads of just like it kind of doesn't know what it wants to be storyline wise, but it doesn't stop the jokes being funny.
Well, to be honest,
hanging them together.
I think that's really the main concern for this film is it needed to be funny because I don't think anybody really watches the original Anchorman and remembers it as some kind of great story.
Exactly.
It's as I say, it's kind of like a vague like social commentary on how women started to come into work in the 70s. And then a lot of these kind of macho men and men in general didn't really like it and how they had to cope with that. But other than that, it was a string of stupid jokes. I mean, in the first one, you've got the fucking news gang fight, which I think is amazing. But it's such a random scene.
There's a sequel.
Oh, is there?
There is, yeah.
Is it all the same people as well?
Some of them come back, but then you've got, because they're on Burgundy's on the world stage, you get like Sacha Baron Cohen leading the team of BBC news anchors.
Oh,
and
my
stuff
God.
Like that come in.
That's me. I really want to see this. I want to see this now just because that's my favourite scene in the first one, just because it's so ridiculous.
Well, Vince Vaughn works up as well in the gang fight.
I was going to say it's Vince Vaughn in this because I was wondering
just in the fight.
just cause.
They're having. I think it's in Central Park, and they're having the big fight, and everyone comes in, and it must take about 10 minutes after to get all the introductions out of the way.
Is Ben Stiller back with his Spanish language news?
I don't think he is. I don't think he was there. But you just see James Marsden's team's like the last one to arrive, and he's about to just go at Ron Burgundy with like an AK-47 or something, and then just out of the side, this like group of guys appear on motorbikes, and it's Vince Vaughn and his news team, and James Marsden's like, "What are you guys doing here? Local news?" And he's like, "Hey, I might think Ron Burgundy's a sack of shit, but if you mess with San Diego, you mess with all of us."
I do. That's sold me on this film already. Gold star.
Well, I'm giving it a B just because it's not as cohesive, but it's deserving of a B. It's just funny as an animated film, so maybe I'm being a bit harsh, but...
No, I think you're probably right, from in line with what I've heard. To be honest, as much as the original's kind of very much it's a fan favourite, it's very popular. It's not. I don't actually think it's that good a movie, and it's certainly not... I think Ron Burgundy's a better character than his films are good films. Like, I think he's got potential as a character, but I think his movies are kind of mediocre. And I do like the first one, and it's very quotable, and it's got some funny jokes. But out of that kind of, like the Apatow style movies, I don't even think it's one of the better ones, really. I think a lot
there's very little character development in them. So,
yeah, because they're such caricatures.
You could flick on... You could watch the first half of the first film and click on an hour in the second film, and you wouldn't. It might not be like anything's changed.
Well, I think that's part of their charm. The cartoon characters, they never will change. But like, I remember this movie is taking a long time to be made, and one of the reasons is because like the main stars are now all much bigger stars than they were originally, and so they couldn't afford the acting bill, the wage bill for the actors. Trying to like get everyone scheduled in was going to be difficult. But looking at the cast. Not only did they get in like the 4-man news team and Christina Applegate on top of that, you got people like fucking Greg Kinnear, James Marsden, Kirsten Wiig, fucking Harrison Ford. I think really at what point did everyone just start jumping on board?
Do you know who else is in this?
Who?
Will Smith.
Oh shit, no. Is he like the first? Is he like a up and coming black anchor or something?
No, he plays like the new, because the whole thing of the film is the 24-hour news thing, so they've got like all the different types of news, and Will Smith's like the sports news anchor. Like his whole team is just sports rather than just having a sports guy on the team.
Does he have a run-in with Champ?
No, he doesn't have a run-in with Champ. He's in the fight, but he doesn't. You see, there's a lot of untapped potential. I mentioned Kristen Wiig, and to be honest, I think she's only in one scene that's not in the trailer. Like her whole character just seemed completely ancillary, and that was the bits that felt more sketch show like.
Jesus,
the whole rest of the news team really got very little screen time compared to the first film.
Really?
This was definitely the Ron Burgundy show.
Well, maybe that's for the best. You know, Ron Burgundy probably is the strongest character.
Yeah.
The rest are better as kind of sidekicks. But just talking about like people who are in there, you've also got Marion Cotillard as the Canadian anger.
Oh yeah,
and
Jim
fucking-
Carrey.
Jim Carrey, Jesus Christ, I didn't see him on there. But you've also got Kirsten Dunst as well.
Oh yeah, she plays. Yeah, honestly, it was just I was like, you always know that this is the stuff that's going to cameos in, so I always waited until like the credit list was going down, and it was just like nodding along. Yeah, and what's her face? Amy Coppola from Parks and Rec.
Oh,
Is she
man.
cool?
Yeah, it really, really is. Liam Neeson?
Oh yeah, he plays the anchor of History News.
Jesus Christ, man. I kind of, you know what, I might go and see it. Oh, John C. Reilly's in it? Damn it. No, fucking everybody's in this movie. This is ridiculous. At what point did they think, all right, then fucking let's just, like, do you think people did this as a favour? Because I swear to God, one of the reasons it took so long to get made is because of the fucking scheduling and cost.
Honestly, when I'm saying about this gang fight that they have, it must take over 10 minutes just to get round everyone walking up to the fight and introducing them and their news team. Because it's just, you don't think the cameos are going to get any bigger, and they just keep coming.
Jesus.
Uh,
It does, you know what, it does sound good. But
I do want to cast my mind to like the main plot, because the funny thing about this, rather than the sketch show jokes, the main plot about the 24-hour news is Ron Burgundy set up a bet with James Marsden's character, who's called Jack Lime, and says that we're going to get more viewers in our 2 a.m. slot that you're going to get in your 9 p.m. slot. And Jack Lime's like, well, that's not going to happen. They don't know what to do, because obviously all the news of the day's already been done by the time they come on. So Ron's like, what should we do? And he's like, well, why don't we just tell them what they want to hear? So the first story that they pull off is, hello, welcome to the show, everyone. And our top story tonight is, why is America so great? And it's like he creates the invention of this sort of Fox News sort of trend that we've got now.
It's like,
and it's
just filler, constant filler.
Oh, complete. And it's just, and coming up, we've got part 3 of, what's his name? What's Brian Fantana's 12-part guide into the human vagina. And it's just, I'm a huge fan of Newsroom, and all they do in Newsroom is relevant stories with relevant information, and it's so funny to watch someone, like, satirically go the other way.
Yeah.
So it's just like, what we need more graphics on the screen, he's telling them, and they're going out and just interviewing, like, real housewives of, New Jersey and stuff, years before it was famous, and Veronica Corningstone, she gets to the chance to interview Yasser Arafat on her show, and Ron's like, well, we're not going to be able to beat that, and I really want to beat her. And all of his news team are like hungover or something, I can't remember what they're doing. And so he decides, like, all right, let's just put this car chase on, I'll commentate. And it's like, he invents the concept of Americans putting car chases on the news. It's just like everything you hear about modern American coverage of the news. They give him credit for.
Fault.
Yeah. It's so funny watching him just devolve the thing that he loves.
I was going to say, because he's all about the news.
Yeah. He just likes being popular, though. That's what happens in this one. That's his story.
Yeah.
But then he goes blind and he realises that there's more to life than being popular.
Oh, God. It sounds fucking ridiculous. To be honest, you've kind of restoked my interest in this movie.
I've restoked my interest in this.
I'm going to have to get off my arse and go and see it this week before it fucking gets pulled altogether. So you give this a B?
Yeah. And while I keep coming back to the whole sketch show thing, I'm willing to bet that if you buy this on DVD, there's going to be over a couple of hours of deleted scenes that they might put on. Because it all feels like improv a lot of times as well, it's really good, but there's going to be so much that they didn't use.
Probably. I mean, to be honest, Shuli, I think that I keep coming back with this film's been in production, or at least in some form, for a long time. There's probably like six or seven different scripts out there, and they might have just taken pieces from each of them. I don't know if it's all very sketchy, like sketch orientated and stitched together like that.
If I remember correctly, one of the first ideas that they were going to use was that they all, like, they're either in a big car crash or a big plane crash or something, and they have to survive on the mountains. Just the news team like having to start eating people and stuff, which I always thought would be a great concept, like take it away from the news stuff. But they actually make a joke about that in this, like they're in a huge car crash at the beginning of the film, and they're all just laughing. He's like, "Hey, isn't it good that we're just able to walk out of this instead of being like stuck here for the next hour?" It's nice to be able to nod at the fact that this took so long to make.
Yeah, it really did. Was it worth the wait?
I wasn't disappointed, but then again, I wasn't. The first time I saw Anchorman, it was just like it felt a lot better than it probably was. I didn't get that from this one. This was just a solid comedy film.
Fair enough. So do you think
But
we'll
yeah,
be seeing
I'd
a
give it
third?
a
Think we'll be seeing a third?
I would definitely go and see this third. They've got the talent to write something funny. I don't really care about the plot in a film like this, so I'd go and see a third one. Definitely. The legend ends.
Yeah, well, there we go. We've already got it started. We've got the ball rolling.
I'm going to call it now. You heard it first on Screen Hug UK.
So by the time we get it out, it'll be like 2025, though.
Well, what could they possibly cover? Well, I don't know, because, who knows what news revelations are going to happen.
Yeah. They all just end up as like internet bloggers.
Yeah, that will be it, won't it? He's going up
Probably.
against his now fully grown son.
Yeah. He's being dethroned.
Do you know who doesn't
by
get
his
enough
own
screen
son.
time, though? Fucking Baxter.
Oh, it's back. Yeah, Baxter's certainly in it. Is it the same dog, or is that dog dead?
It looks like it's the same dog. He looks a bit older, so...
Oh, well,
I would
fair
imagine
enough.
he's dead, though, because don't dogs not live for that long?
It's been a long time since. It's been like 10 years since the original.
Yeah.
So I
It
assume.
wasn't like a newborn puppy then.
No, I assume it's a different dog.
And they did throw him into a river. Well, didn't it was Jack Black punted him off the bridge.
He punted him. Yeah.
There is
Yeah.
no glass case of him. Like, there's some standout quotable lines in this one, and I can't really remember as many from this film. I think I laughed more continuously, though.
Right, but not quite as quotable.
No.
Maybe it is though. Maybe it's just like, cause I think I've seen the original Anchorman so many times now. I could probably just
You're
like
probably right.
I could probably recall the entire script from memory almost, but it's like it usually takes me a few times to actually like learn lines that are coming up. But
You're probably
it's,
right, yeah.
it will. We will see, because in the years to come, it'll like, if it is quotable, people will start using jokes.
Do you know how well this is done at the box office? Just,
I
I'm
don't.
assuming it did
I
pretty
don't
well.
actually. I have no clue, which is probably terrible, but I really don't. The fact that it's on one showing a night at my cinema, local cinema, maybe suggests that it's not doing too well.
I think
Well,
it
I
was...
don't know.
It was just promoted to hell in America, so America's one of the places where if you spend the money for promotion, you will reap rewards, where it's not so true here. People kind of see what they want to see, especially when the cinema is limiting you to that. But
Yeah, maybe.
I think it's definitely worth going to see, especially if you like the original. You're not going to be disappointed.
I'm breaking down the barriers of race by assimilation. And on that note, which one of you convicts with the longest record can pass me the mashed potatoes? Am I right? Say what?